I'm here today to present for the group. And just first of all, I just want to let you know that the interpreter will not be speaking. Just to be clear, I'm here to present to all of you. I know some of you are probably sitting there thinking, what is she talking about? It might be confusing because you're thinking, well, who is the interpreter really here for? The presenter isn't speaking, but the interpreter is really here for all of us. I'm sorry, the interpreter is here for me. She's here to help us have perfect communication. I just want to emphasize how important it is that you understand how the interpreter is here for both of us to communicate properly. I'm going to ask the group a general questions and give you some multiple choice answers to choose from, and you guys can just sit there and think about which of the answers would be best. You shouldn't stress about which answer is correct, A, B, C, D. It's okay. This hour is here for you to learn the most you can. So if you don't have an answer right, uh, I'll give you the right answers, and you can utilize them for your learning. Since this is only an hour long presentation, I won't be able to really go in depth for all the topics. However, I will be able to touch on various things. Also, anything you learn here during this presentation, feel free to take it outside and just really think about all the topics we've discussed here and continue to learn. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. That's definitely what I'm here for, to answer any of the questions that you might have. It's like the same idea. If the topic sex comes up, nobody really wants to ask any questions about it. They're afraid and they're nervous, but don't be afraid to ask me anything. That's what I'm here for, and answer any questions. It's important you leave here with all your questions answered. Okay, so after I ask a question and give you the choices, I'll ask A, how many people, and I'll take a rough count of how many people chose A and B and so on, and then I'll give you the correct answer. Okay, so what is the best word to describe a person who can't hear? From the following choices. Number 1, deaf. 2, hard of hearing. 3, hearing impaired. 4, physically disabled. Or 5, I don't know. Okay, so how many people chose the first answer? Deaf. Okay, 5, 10. Okay. How many chose hard of hearing? Show of hands. Okay. And if you already put your hand up, you shouldn't do it again. Okay, no people? Alrighty. How many people answered hearing impaired? Okay, 3. Okay, physically disabled. How many people, by a show of hands, thought that physically disabled was the best answer? No one. Okay. How many just don't know? None? Okay. Okay, the best answer would be deaf, the first one. And just be sure to understand that the word deaf includes a lot of things. It includes their culture. It's not really just defined by a person who just can't hear. It's fuzzy. It's their culture, the language. It's their identity. In America, there's about 60% of people who cannot hear, who are deaf or hearing impaired. How many people here feel that there's one universal sign language used all over? True or false? Okay, how many answered true? And how many answered false? Wow, all answered false. For example, Europe has their own sign language that they use, and here in America we use ASL, uh, American Sign Language. And ASL has its own grammar, its own non-manual gestures. It's its own language, meaning the answer would be true, or the answer would be false. There's a lot of different things that interpreters in America. Oh, there are a lot of different techniques used by interpreters in America. Using the word run as an example, in the English language, you could use run. Interpreters hear the word run, but they can't just interpret until they have the complete context of the sentence. So they have to wait for the context and then understand which type of running is involved. It could be running from on the track in a competition, runny nose, or water running from a faucet. How many people believe that all deaf people can read lips? Okay, true or false? Okay, true. One person for true and false. Okay. All right, false is right. Research shows that 30% of deaf people can understand um, the information from reading lips. Me, for example, there are a lot of words that look alike, so I would not be able to decipher what the actual word was just by reading their lips.